Hello and welcome to Coffee with Carey. Thank you for being here today in the middle of the Summer Olympics 2020 taking place in 2021. I've really been enjoying so much of the Olympics, and today I wanted to tie that into our dating life and talk about 3 huge hurdles that we are facing trying to meet people using the dating app. So it's a dating app quick tip. It's a swiping, I forgot what they call it, Swipe Life. Swipe Life is the playlist that we use for anything to do with dating apps or meeting people on dating sites on the internet. If that sounds at all interesting and you want to know just the 3 things you must overcome, the 3 hurdles you must jump over gracefully like a gazelle in order to win the race and get the partner, keep watching. That's what we're talking about today. Dating should be an Olympic sport. It is harder than ever these days to connect with somebody, and there is so much to overcome. These hurdles are many and they are high and they are hard to overcome. But if you have determination and you are really serious about wanting to meet somebody and you really try to streamline the process and keep to some rules, it is not impossible. You can indeed at least end up with a silver medal. The first hurdle is matching with somebody. I think the thing I want you to keep in mind is that when you do match with, actually before you match with somebody, when you are looking through the available people that you perhaps would match with if you selected them and they felt likewise, is to pay attention to that. Don't just randomly, when you've got nothing to do, swipe yes on 10 people and hope that one of them comes through. Make sure that who you're selecting to match with is somebody that you truly do want to meet in person, that you would be interested based on their photos, what they had to say about themselves, how they presented this profile. I wanted to feel that when you do match with this person, that first hurdle, that you're going to be excited about it and you're going to follow through to the next hurdle if that happens. So choose wisely. And the first hurdle is matching with somebody, and bravo, you did it. You wake up one morning, you open the app because there's a little bubble and it says you've got a match. It makes me think of you've got mail, but you've got a match, and that is the first hurdle. You're almost there. What's number 2? Number 2 is a big one. You've got to plan an actual meeting with this person. So how do you do that? I think you have to have a little bit of a conversation before somebody's even intrigued enough to want to get out there. You can't just say, here's my phone number, call me, or when do you want to schedule a video chat with me so I can make sure you look like your pictures and that you are who you say you are, or give me your phone number so you can Google that. I think first you want to have a little chit chat, a little repartee, a little flirting. If sarcasm is your thing, now is the time. But if you want to be sincere, commenting a little bit more or starting a conversation based on something either that they said when they matched with you or something that you see in their profile, now is the time for that. So just get a little conversation going so that it feels more natural, more organic to say, here's my number, why don't you give me a call? So it feels like you're taking it to the next level with a phone conversation or a video chat. Just a brief little conversation in text message. That's step number 2. And then finally, you got to get to that next hurdle. And what's that? 2 people need to actually show up for a date. So once you were having a video chat or a phone call, hopefully you made plans to meet somewhere within the next week. Very important. If you don't know why, watch this episode. 2 people have made plans to meet for a cup of coffee, to take their dogs to the dog park, to go mini golfing, to take a hike, to go for a bike ride, to meet for a cocktail, to share a glass of wine somewhere, to go for a picnic lunch or play a game of frisbee at the beach. Whatever your first date plans are, getting 2 people to show up and nobody cancel, nobody ghost the other, is a huge hurdle these days, unfortunately and sadly. But if you have used good common sense and paid close attention in overcoming those first 2 hurdles, you've really set yourself up for having much better odds of getting over this third hurdle and scoring a bronze. I encourage you, once this plan has been finalized, that the day of the date, you should reach out one more time to confirm that this person is going to be there, that the date is still on, that nothing has come up to sabotage this meet and greet meeting, this first date with this person. So afternoon time, or you could actually wait till a couple hours before the date, maybe before you start getting ready, to double check, text this person or make a phone call and say, I just wanted to touch base and make sure that we were still on for this evening or this afternoon, and just get a confirmation from this person. You want to hear from them to make sure they're still there, that they're still communicating with you, that there is a pretty good chance that they're going to show up. It happened to me once. I got all the way an hour from home down to the city to meet somebody. It's like a speakeasy kind of vibe place in downtown Chicago. Over an hour in my car. I parked across the street. I had spoken to this person. I followed my own rules. I had reached out before I got in the car and said, hey, I'm heading out. We're still good for 7 o'clock. He said, yeah, that's great. I'll see you there. Looking forward to it. I parked my car across the street, texted him and said, I'm here. Are you here yet? Where are you seated? Crickets. Ghosted. Me. Happens to all of us on occasion. So the best I could have done was what I did do, though, to reach out before I left my house, before I drove, maybe even before I put on my lipstick and got myself all snazzy looking. But definitely do that. Reach out ahead of time. And if you get there and there's a person waiting for you, or even if they've texted you and said, hey, I'm running a few minutes behind, it happens to all of us. I know that there are some people who get very upset about somebody being inconsiderate and being late. Of course, it's their fault that they didn't allow more time. But sometimes it truly does happen to people who are very, very conscientious about time. So offer a little grace and treat somebody the way you would want to be treated, and let it go so it doesn't ruin your date. You've overcome 2-3 huge hurdles to get sitting near this person. Don't let something small like being late, especially if they've apologized, interrupt a good flow and a good chance at some chemistry. You're both there. You're both going to have a good time. Your goal sitting across from this person is not to interview them, not to ask them a bunch of questions, but instead to have a fun time just getting to know them by sharing stories, sharing ideas, talking about things that are going on around you, talking about your day, talking about your plans for the weekend, or asking them about the last weekend. Anything besides those interview questions, which kill chemistry and make people feel like they were at a work meeting instead of a first date. At the end of the night, you can let that person know whether or not you'd like to see them again, or whether or not it just didn't quite live up to the chemistry part, the romantic connection that you were looking for. And what is that? That's a gold medal. Congratulations, you did it. You've got somebody to go out with on a second date. Don't drop the ball. Keep that momentum going. Don't let it wait 3-4 weeks to make plans for a second date. Get out there ASAP and keep that moving in a positive direction, because you know what happens if you wait too long and you lose momentum. People just get lackadaisical and kind of let things like fall through the cracks and nothing happens. And they take back your medal. They don't. You have to train for the next Olympics, though. I hope you found that fun, interesting, or helpful. If you did, give the episode a thumbs up. And if you would subscribe to my channel, I would truly appreciate that. It's free, doesn't cost anything, but it's a super big help with my channel, and it allows me to keep making content to share with you here. If you're so inclined, that ring bell notifies you every time I upload a new episode, so feel free to tap on that, and I'll look forward to seeing you here next time. Until then, have a good one.